What's good, traders? Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Today we made around $336 on this trade, and we did it live in the Discord server. If you guys want to be part of the Muller FX Wealth Club, make sure you click the link in the description below. And if you guys are following our track record in the Discord server itself, we are about 10.5R up in the past 3 weeks. So if you followed my trades for the past 3 weeks, you would have got funded and would have passed a funded account plus a little bit extra. So if you guys see this and it motivates you to join the server, make sure you click the link in the description below. If not, you can always subscribe and like this video and join the community on YouTube. But today we are going to break down this trade and explain to you why I took this trade and if we could have had a better entry. When I do these kind of videos, I like to just do this as a documentation of my journal, and so it's like a video format of my journal. So we're going to look and see if we can improve this trade and how I was able to exit this trade before we had the crash. As you can see, the market crashed down, and how I was able to execute the sell, or execute, sorry, the close of the trade and not hold it for longer. So just before we look on further, the protocols, we always have to look at the daily bias. So for today, I was pretty much bullish for the day. I'll be honest, I did start off on 75% bearish move and 25% bullish move. But once I saw that New York session, I'll just quickly open this up. Once I saw that New York session basically pushed all the way and swept London highs, I was like, okay, cool. We're about to get some sort of bull run in this market. So after that, I was like, okay, we need to look for some bullish move. Even though we swept these highs, we didn't actually break any structure. So I thought there might be still room for price to continue to go up. And knowing that we then just swept Asian session highs, not only did we tap into Asian session highs, we actually swept, and I'll just scale in a little bit, we actually swept these lows right here. So not only did we just sweep these lows, we tapped into Asian session highs and we had huge order flow, bullish order flow to the upside. That itself gave me major confluences that, okay, we are definitely looking to go up. Now I wanted to just wait for my confluences. And once I got my confluences, I then said, okay, this is where we're going and these are the targets. Remember, we always want to know why, why, how, and where, right? So those are the three that we always need to do. So scaling into the 5 minutes, you can then see that we had the liquidity sweep. However, this was a breaker structure, which wasn't giving me the best move ever. But I said, you know what, we'll be patient and we'll wait for a break of structure. So on the 50-minute time frame, I marked up 50-minute highs, which was over here. And I said, if this structure gets broken and the candlestick closes above this area right here, I will be 100% in this trade. And you can see that we ended up having that anyways. So once this candlestick closed, I said to my Discord members, I said, look, I'm looking for entry. So as soon as we get a little bit of a pullback, we're going to enter. Now, however, the market already did a pullback and tap into here. If I scaled into a lower time frame, I think we would have got a much better trade entering around here, stop loss below these lows and targeting these highs, which would have given us a 1-to-3 risk ratio. This was the preferred trade. However, I was so scaled into the 15 minutes and I said I have to wait for this candlestick to close, because if this candlestick did close above on the 5 minutes, because the 50 minutes didn't have that close above, I could have potentially seen the market just crash down from here and swept me out, right? So I had to be very, very precautious with this trade. And at the end of the day, patience is always a virtue, and sometimes you be patient, you get to see a better confluence and you're more confident with the trade. And so that's what I did. I ended up holding the trade for a little bit, well, waiting for the trade, and saw this big bullish push giving us that 15-minute closure above, right? Once I got that 15-minute closure above, I said, okay, as soon as we get a little bit of drawdown, I am going to enter. We ended up getting a little bit of a push on this candlestick, and I entered this trade. And you can see straight away, as soon as the market closed this candlestick, we then saw a huge push to the downside, tapping into our entry again. It wasn't exactly on an entry, but it was very close to what we would have wanted an entry anyways. But nevertheless, I wasn't too stressed. I said that as long as we don't break these lows, we're good. We never broke these lows. Candlestick closed above and didn't break any type of structure. It's not like we broke these lows or whatever. So I was pretty confident with this trade, and I ended up holding this trade for a while. And you can see, guys, that this trade here was a very, very hesitant trade. Usually I like to place my trade, and most of the times it will just go either to my stop loss or straight to my take profit. But you can see we were very hesitant. This trade right here was testing our psychology, and honestly, I was very tempted to close a trade. I didn't know whether we're going to scale higher. I was very confused. And I did mention to the Discord members as well that this trade here wouldn't have been an A+ setup, just because we don't have that many targets to attack from, right? The way this market is we literally only had this level right here. And this level right here was a 1 to 1.5 risk ratio. And for me, that's okay, but I would like to always have a few more levels below or above, just to give me that 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or potentially at least where I can move my stop loss to break even. In this case, guys, because I didn't enter here, I didn't actually get to move my stop loss to break even. So majority of this trade, I was practically at a level where price just could have crashed on me and I would have lost money, even though I was up quite enough, right? And then I then said to the members, look, we have these London highs right here, which, yes, is not significant because we swept London highs, but I said, you know what, just for the sake of this trade, I will have to mark this and have this as price. Once it body goes close above there, I can move my stop loss to break even, because I don't really like holding trades to full TP without my stop loss moving to break even, just because I want to manage my risk, and I'd rather have a trade go in that direction. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. At least I don't lose anything. As you can see in this trade right here, we had good directions towards our take profit. However, it was very hesitant. So I needed some sort of breakthrough of where I should put my stop loss and how I should manage this risk. And as you can see, we ended up placing our stop loss right after this candlestick to break even. So right now we're break even. Now, this chart to my broker's chart was very, very different, and we were so close to get stopped out at break even, but we were so lucky that break even, we actually entered a little bit lower, so we were actually very, very clear. But any other broker, I guarantee we would have ended up basically getting stopped out. So if you want to trade with my broker, fully regulated broker, make sure you click the link in the description below as well to trade with my broker. We were very, very lucky that the broker did not stop me out, even though my stop loss was a few pips around my break even point. And you can see I was still very confident with this trade. After this huge bearish sweep to these lows right here, we pushed up and we still didn't break any structure. It was very, very smooth. I was very, very confident that we are definitely going to hit take profit now. Now, the thing is, guys, once we got to take profit, this was a major, major thing that I had to take notice from the Discord server. And I had to let the members know that, guys, look, if we close above these highs, we are going higher. If we close below these highs, we are going lower. And in this case, we closed exactly at that point. So for me, if it closes on that point or below, I'm going to close the trade, because I knew that price isn't going to go higher. And as you can see straight away, as soon as I close the trade, as soon as this candlestick closed, I closed my trades. One of my trades actually hit full TP. The second trade, I closed a little bit above, which was completely fine. And so we made a few extra change right there. But overall, fantastic trade. Couldn't blame the trade at all. The trade was a really, really good trade. We followed our protocols. We followed, even though the stop loss was a bit shaky, we followed it. And overall, we had a really good execution, and a good execution of taking full TP, because I was expecting market to go higher and potentially go to 20, I think it was 29.15. But I did have a feeling that market will, just because of this liquidity sweep on the higher time frame. I just thought maybe we might not actually get a close above, and I was very thankful that I used my intuition and I followed what my gut instincts told me. Because if I did hold, and I was going to hold one of the trades, I would have ended up making half the profits, because I would always take 50% partials at a take profit anyways, and I would have ended up closing at break even, which is still not bad. It's still great. But if your intuition and if you look at the market structure and the market's not giving you that trade that you want, you need to be able to make that decision right there and then. Are you going to close or hold? And I did let the members know that, look, if price decides to continue to go to the upside, I will not care at all, because I know some traders, market will continue to go to the upside and they'll feel like they're missed out on a single trade. With me, I honestly couldn't care less if the market continued to go up. I made my profits. I had my target set in place, made my profits, couldn't care less. Yes, it would hurt me a little, but at the end of the day, I followed my rules, I followed my intuition. I am in control of the markets. The market's not in control with me, so I'm able to manage and control my trades at all times. And so you can see right here, the markets ended up crashing down, would have ended up hitting break even anyways. So if I didn't take partials over here or didn't take my profits over here, I would have ended up hitting break even anyways. And you can see right around over here, this trade is now finished. This trade is finished and the move has now been completed. Now, just looking into the future, I think if I was a little bit patient, we could have entered on this trade right here. So we had a liquidity sweep right here, break of structure right here. And you can see that price has, if I just use my equilibrium tool, price ended up coming back into discounted price, retesting at equilibrium. I would have probably most likely would have had a nice entry right here. Stop loss, I could keep it just above these highs. If anything, I can keep it above here. And you can see that right now, we would have easily been or easily covered right now around 1 to 2.22. If I had my stop loss just above here, these highs would have been a nice 1 to 3, almost 1 to 4 risk ratio. So you guys can see that the better move was later on. However, my training sessions always occur from 2 p.m. all the way to 4 p.m. So after 4 p.m., this was around 4:10. I wouldn't have placed this trade, honestly. And honestly, I couldn't. I'm grateful that we actually had this trade. This is preferably a better trade. We just didn't get it in our session. But that's just for those who want to see my strategy and want to see how I trade, regardless of where we are and what time it is. Our strategy always works. It's always on point. And yes, we might have a few false entries, but that's basically part of the game. You just got to hold those ones and try and get as many good trades as possible. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for today. It was a fantastic start to the week. I think we're around 1.5 hour up for the week, which is great. And we're going to see what the week holds us in throughout this week. Anyways, guys, make sure you like and subscribe if you like these trade recaps. Make sure you comment it down below, even though these are all live in the Discord server. So if you see this video right now and you're thinking, wait, this is not live, yes, it is live. Everything's done on the Discord server. If you want to be part of this and you want to make profits like me, click the link in the description below and make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next trade breakdown or video.